This next guest has moved countries just to chase his dream, and he's one of the hottest prospects in all of Oceania MMA. It's Brodie Mayocchi, and we got him here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event.
Live from HBF Stadium Festival Hall, Melbourne Pavilion. Not even backstage, we're literally outside.
Was that the best fight card in Australian MMA history?
Call me crazy, but make sure you call me when I'm right.
Be good if the Aussie MMA Instagram page would give us a bit of glow up, because
Welcome
we're killing it.
to the Australian MMA podcast. My name is Mitch Tinley. Shout out to Valet Demolition Fight Series too. Wayne Carl, great jumper. No little around, great promotion, great guy. Look, today's guest is, I don't know if he's highly touted in terms of like the public, but at least for me and guys in the know, that's not me, that's me and guys in the know, separate. Brodie Mayocchi is probably one of the most talented guys out there. He's 20 years old. He recently won a scholarship on a reality TV show with City Kickboxing. Of course, City Kickboxing manned by the great man, Eugene Bareman. Of course, Izzy Adesanya, Dan Hooker, UFC fighters, plethora of them, another host Sterling, they're all there. And Brodie Mayocchi moved over from Australia to sort of train there, and he got a full year scholarship to do so. That's actually run out, so we can find out what he's doing now. He struggled to get some fights for whatever reason, but he is one of the most highly touted guys. He's from inland Australia, Innisfail in Queensland, about an hour and a half from Cairns. Him and his brother Kyle, absolute amazing prospects in the world of mixed martial arts, especially in Australia and New Zealand. But Brodie is probably the one that is hyped more than ever. He's got a flowing Warwick Kappa-like mullet. He is just... yeah, he oozes personality. He's got immense skill. He's really going to go places. He hasn't been in the cage for, I think, over a year. And at 20, it's like, you know, he's burning daylight, as they say. He's finally got an opponent. And this opponent we've had on the show before. And he is like, if there's a 10 out of 10 prospect, Arte Trepca is also a 10 out of 10 prospect. Like it's really cool to see two young guys so early on in their careers in the professional ranks, because at times we have seen Australian MMA emulate a bit of boxing where the top guys won't fight each other until they're both right at the top. So to have this fight so early on, it's like a Australian MMA main event. At least in a couple of years anyway, and we're getting it in the quote-unquote prelims at Hex Fight Series 35, May 31st at Melbourne Pavilion. It's going to be it's literally without a doubt my sort of X Factor fight. It's definitely the one to watch if you aren't aware, like it's not a title fight. It's probably the most intriguing matchup, and will sort of set up who's going to be the go-to lightweight fighter over the next couple of years. And I do think both of them will have stellar careers, but whoever takes us out will probably be the first one to succeed. There's also some interesting implications where the scene's at right now and belts, and, you know, we're seeing Australian MMA fighters get shots at titles a lot quicker because of how much our guys are succeeding overseas. Look, it's a very interesting chat. It sets up the scene quite well. I really like it. Brodie Mayocchi is definitely a guy to watch. I've talked for about half an hour already. Like we said, there's time codes below. You can click to your favorite bit. Shout out to a couple of our friends for getting this show on the road. Of course, Vex MMA, Combat Sports Insurance. Go check them out, combatsportsinsurance.au. And of course, our gym partner, Drillich Combat Academy. Now, on the other side, guys, we're going to chat with the man that's taking on Arte Trepca May 31st, Hex Fight Series 35 in Melbourne. It's Brodie Mayocchi.
And we'd like to take the time to thank our gym partner, DCA, the home of Australian MMA champion Anthony Drillich and aspiring athletes. If you'd like to know more, head to drillichcombatacademy.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining me back on the show, one of the hottest prospects. It feels like he's been in hiding a little bit. Brodie Mayocchi, mate, welcome.
What's going on, mate?
What have you been doing? I feel like you've been hiding out, just sharpening the tools.
Yeah, mate, just been waiting for the call up, eh? Been trying to find whatever I can get, and time's finally arose, so.
Yeah, weren't you taking like kickboxing fights in car parks or something? Like you were just like anything you could get, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was struggling to get some MMA fights, so they just chucked me in a kickboxing fight, short notice, filled fill in for the gap that I had. But yeah, you're right.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Not as good as MMA, of course, but good enough to tie over for the year.
What's it like though? Like when you're sort of sharpening your skills, probably getting bashed every single day by, world champions at City Kickboxing, and then you don't get fights for like years.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty annoying, but there's not much you can do about it, eh? It's all right. Just fucking go to the pubs and see what you can find, eh?
But you'd have to come to an Innisfail pub because you couldn't. Surely a New Zealand pub isn't as tough.
Nah, probably not. No, that. Plus, I want to get deported as well. Probably be best off to get home so I can still come back.
Yeah. I'm sure back home, it gets looked the other way.
That's it.
What's the look? Are you still a sponsored athlete, or how's that working out for you?
Nah. So the year scholarship, like, when was it? End of February, some started March, end of Feb. Sort of ended up. So now it's all just on my own coin, eh?
Rude.
Yeah. Just left me out to dry once that year was up.
What did you end up getting? They were taking like gym fees and stuff, eh?
Yeah, so they were paying like gym fees, put in like a couple $100 a week for like rent and food, and that was it.
Oh, come on, Eugene.
That's it.
Did it come to the end of the like sponsorship, and did they have to like assess if they wanted to keep you? Was there anything like that?
No, well, I think it wasn't actually Eugene or the gym or anything that was paying for it. It was like because they did the TV show behind it. So I think like as part of the funding for the TV show covered it.
Oh, that's
so,
worse.
Yeah.
That's worse, Eugene.
Yeah, I know.
What do you do to plug the gap?
I just take PTs and some privates and that over here. I just do some one-on-one sessions, group sessions, whatever I can find. And then I got a pretty good misso that pays the rest of it. So,
did you meet her over in New Zealand, or did you bring her over?
Nah, she come over with me.
What do you make her do? Like digging holes and stuff, and
do everything that I don't want to.
Anything that a normal civilian would do.
Pretty much. if it's not training, she does it.
How much are you training throughout the day, throughout the week? What's it look like?
Anywhere from like 3.5 hours to like 5.5 hours, depending on the day, 6 days a week.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's not all like hard work, but it's all right.
We're just taking photos and talking shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah. How much has it all changed for you since obviously like the year? It's 2 years now you've been at City Kickboxing?
Just over a year now, just over a year, I think.
Yeah. What's sort of changed in terms of like life and skills and like obviously you're going to feel better, but just kind of how you look at the sport? Have you sort of changed it all in that year?
Yeah, being like at home, me and Cole sort of like outgrew our environment, so it was a bit of like a different sort of look at it. Like we weren't really learning anything new. We're just sort of going through the motions. But being here again and like learning a lot more is sort of definitely like sparked it a bit again. Like real interested, real keen and getting in there sort of thing. Not that I wasn't keen at home, but like really eager to learn in that here. And then just being in New Zealand, it's all right. Nothing like Aussie, but it'll do. And yeah, it's sort of pretty much like full-time fighting now. At home is still work, just trained like every RV or something after we taught our classes and that, and just a full-time professional athlete now.
Yeah, because how old are you now?
20.
20. So it's like you got a good couple of years of struggle. Like you could put up with it for a couple of years, but do you have any amount of like if I'm not where I want to be at like 25, I'm going to go get a real job, or is anything like that?
There was but before I moved over, I pretty much said to myself, like, if I haven't made it by the time I'm 25 or like seeing any real sort of possibility, then I'm probably not sort of doing the right thing. Like if I'm here, because when I first come here, I was still 18. I just turned 20 just not long ago. And I was like, if I've been here for, say 6-7 years and nothing's changed, then, something's going wrong, if that makes sense. Like I was pretty confident that I should be able to get somewhere by the time I'm 25, and that was sort of the cutoff date. But of course, that's all depends. Like if I'm 25 and I'm right on the verge, then we'll hang around for a bit longer. But yeah,
Yeah, I was talking to you when you're 35, hanging out the back of a pub, just looking for
exactly.
Do you like? I mean, you're not really necessarily at that age. Like a lot of 20-year-olds are still just like piss farting around at the pub and stuff. But have you noticed any other friends kind of like moving up in life type thing, getting high paying jobs or anything like that? And you're like, oh fuck, like I'm getting a little left behind in that sense.
Yeah, a little bit. I see, there's those one or two mates from back at home that have already like had a kid or something. A few that have sort of moved out and working on the mines and all that sort of stuff, making some good coin doing that. But I don't feel like I'm too left behind. Like I understand why, things are the way they are and how it'll all play out, sort of thing. I'm already living out on my own place, on my own coin, sort of doing everything already now at 20. So
Your girlfriend's coin.
yeah. Her coin. That's it. But so I'm pretty happy at the moment.
Nah, it's cool, man. It's cool, and like the way you can sort of look at it too is it is like an apprenticeship. You know what I mean? Like you like what would you be doing if you were like I don't know a plumber or something? Obviously, you'd make a little bit more coin, but you'd still be struggling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, still be living at home, mum and dad. I actually had an apprenticeship with dad back at home doing carpentry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that going? You reckon you could build a table or something?
Yeah. I reckon.
How's your brother Kyle doing?
Yeah, he's good. He's over here more than he isn't lately, so it's been good to have him around. We just getting a 2-bedroom place now actually, so that he can come and stay with us whenever he's here, when he decides to move over maybe.
Ah, that's cool. And do you think it's like you've noticed obviously the little exchange program we've got with like Kasib Murdoch being in like Australia, Nate Law being in Australia, but then you guys being in New Zealand?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a bit of a wild show, but yeah, it's all right.
And obviously, like you're in New Zealand. I don't really know how like visas and shit work, but like, do you have to like keep coming back to Australia, or how's it work?
Nah, since like I'm an Australian citizen, I can just stay here for as long as I want. The only thing is with my driver's license, because I haven't been bothered to get a Kiwi driver's license. If I got to go home like at least once a year, so I can keep driving here. That's right. They'll never know.
Yeah. Do you even have a car?
Yeah, got a car. Mrs. just got a car.
Yeah. You can ask her to borrow it. But
that's it.
Isn't like Innisfail or whatever like all about like just like riding horses and shit?
Oh, I wouldn't really say that. It's just a bunch of bogans, pretty much. It's just like any old little town you sort of run into in the middle of nowhere. And in saying that, it's not that far in the middle of nowhere. Like it's only an hour and a half outside of Cairns, but yeah.
Mate, when Cairns is your big city.
Yeah, that's it.
You're pretty small. In terms of obviously you're chasing the dream, you're well into it and whatnot. Are there any regrets at all? Like, is there any bit of you that goes, "Oh fuck, I should have stayed in Australia," or maybe I would have done this a little bit different? Or are you loving the path you've chosen so far?
No, loving it so far. The only like real regret I ever really would say I have is like when COVID hit. Like when COVID hit, we sort of got a bit slack, got a bit sort of complacent, and at that point in time I was sort of doing heaps of jiu-jitsu, so I couldn't really find much MMA anyway. And it's like I was saying before, like being in Innisfail, just me and Kyle, there wasn't much learning or anything going on, and it's sort of not hard to be motivated, but it was hard to sort of find that drive to go out. And with COVID as well, it made it a bit harder, but I just wish I had stayed a little bit more sort of on course, on track through that time, and then maybe be a bit further ahead by now as well.
Yeah, is it weird seeing guys like like George Mangos and stuff that have just skyrocketed up, obviously similar age, and you're kind of just sitting here still kind of undiscovered.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely feels like a little bit. I was hoping by now that I'd sort of have some sort of momentum or something, like something going on, but I think that's more been to do with not being able to get as many fights as I would have liked and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean you're really correct in that though, because like all it takes is that little launch pad, and a fight against like Arte Trepca is going to be huge. Are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. Definitely excites me. Yeah.
It's a real like I didn't think we'd see that one sort of like so early.
Yeah, yeah. We were actually I don't know if it was like proposed to him, but I'm pretty sure when I was still living back at home in Oz as an amateur, they were sort of talking about trying to make that match up and making it happen. And then that was when I think I ended up coming here for the 8-week fight camp TV show thing. And then I ended up going pro after that. But yeah,
Oh yeah, because that was when everyone kept saying you were like 200-0 in all combat sports.
yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
that was that
Something silly like that.
yeah,
Something silly like that.
it still grows. Every time I talk
Yeah.
to someone, everyone's like, man, he's like 400-0.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually like 2,000, but anyway.
Yeah, not if you talk to Kyle. He reckons he's got you a few times.
Oh, yeah. And his dreams.
How do you see this fight with Arte Trepca going?
I think it'll be a tough fight. I'm sort of interested to see what his approach is like. As like one thing that you'll sort of see, like if you look across all my past fights, is they've also all sort of been like wrestling or like finishes from jiu-jitsu or something, like some sort of sub. So I'm interested to see if he sort of will come out thinking he's got the upper hand in the striking, or if he still tries to sort of just implement his style. Because obviously he's also not saying that he can't strike, but he's obviously like favors his wrestling or has like a heavily wrestling background. But yeah, just go wherever the fight takes me. I'm just keen. I think I'm pretty well prepared everywhere, and I just want to give it a test. And I think he's like a bigger step up in competition too than sort of what I've faced so far. But yeah, he's already got like a little bit of momentum as well. So hopefully I can sort of steal a bit of that, get things rolling forward.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like in the next 2 or 3 years, it's very much like a title fight, which is
exactly.
which you don't normally get in the regionals. People get kind of like protected a little bit until you get to that moment. And he's had an interest, like he's been more active, but really he's fought like fucking subpar. Like amateurs, he fought killers, but pros, he couldn't fight either, and he had to just fight like really like guys that just weren't on his level. So would you prefer?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you have preferred that though, to have taken some really easier, sort of more favorable fights and be 3-0, but not have any tough fights yet, or would you rather have done it how you're currently doing it?
Like something's better than nothing, but at the same time, I want to go in there and have a good fight against some tough opponents. Like it. The reason why I like this fight so much is because I know it's going to be a hard fight. It's going to be like a test, and sort of somewhere to show what I've been doing for the last year here in New Zealand, and that's what excites me. Like Kyle, the way Kyle's done it is sort of the way that like I would have liked to do it. Like go straight in against someone who's already got some good fights, some good like a good record and that. And just sort of get it done and then do it again and then again. And then eventually start to sort of climb that ladder.
Yeah. It's kind of lapped you a little bit, hasn't he, Kyle?
Yeah. Fucking dickhead. It's because no one's scared of him, mate.
Yeah, no, it's because no one's scared of him. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where were you? Just too good. You're gonna put up more videos of you getting bashed by Dan Hooker. That's
I will.
But with this fight coming up, though, would you rather a quick finish, or do you kind of sound like you really want to get the minutes in, the rounds in?
I mean, I definitely want to get like the minutes in and get the experience in, but at the same time, like knowing, like I definitely don't think Timios is going to be like a guy to give up. Like I think he's going to be dangerous through the whole fight, and like I said, it's going to be a tough fight. So, it's not like I'm going in there trying to work on some things. Like I'm not going in there saying I'm going to work on this, work on that. Like we're going in there with the game plan of like winning. Like that's sort of first and foremost. So I guess if the finish shows itself early, we'll take it. But yeah.
And the way the scene's going lately, you could very much, if you take out Arte Trepca and his brother gets the win, you could then have to take on Nikos Trepca. Did you think about that?
Yeah. I didn't think about that actually. I was so convinced that like Kieran Joblin's sort of winning and getting that. I never thought about that, but possibly so. It'd be a quick climb then to the belt, but yeah, I can't complain.
Does it worry you with guys like, if Kieran Joblin is the champ, stays the champ, it then kind of makes it a bit tricky for you?
Nah, not really. There's still, other promotions or somewhere else for me to go, and I definitely don't think I have to worry about that with Kieran anyway. Like, Kieran is such a nice bloke. Like, I don't have to be in that position for another little while to get a few more fights in first, and then Kieran might think his time's up and he might sort of pass it down. But yeah,
Well, how do you go against Kieran in training?
well, it depends. He's definitely got the miles. He's definitely got the experience. I'll get into like a good position. I'll get some good things going and be like, oh yeah, I'm sweet. Like, then he'll just hit something like, fuck, you got it.
Well, here's something else I was going to ask you, doing it for money. One of your teammates, Dan Hooker, seems to be just throwing money around for people to get knocked out in backyards. Did you think about jumping in?
If I wasn't doing this fight, I probably would have given it like a good thought. But then he said super heavyweight, and I was like, yeah, nah. I've seen the super heavyweights here in New Zealand. There's no need to get mixed up in that.
Yeah, they are. They're probably the only guys that are like, oh, I don't train, but I reckon I could win. And you kind of go, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, all right, mate. Well, before I let you go, fight week, how's it all been for you? How excited are you to fight in Melbourne?
Super excited to finally get a fight again. It's been over a year now since the last fight. Yeah, it's been a while, eh? So keen to get back in there, need to get some more in. But Cam's been as good as it can be. Fight week is as good as it can be as well. Just looking forward to it.
I'm gonna clip that. Put that
Yeah. That's it.
All right, mate. Give me as we leave, give me a prediction for the fight.
Finish in round 2.
Oh,
But I don't think we'll see the third round.
Oh.
I think it'll be pretty like high pace. I think it's gonna be a fun one.
But you winning?
Yeah, of course, man.
All right, mate. It's always a pleasure. I'll chat to you in Melbourne.
Cheers, mate.
See you there, brother.